for parole, aka death.
Death. Deep.
So we all came down here, but we don't even realize that we just want to experience the emotion that humans feel. I want to know what it feel like to be human. Some of us get addicted to the suffering and the pain because in the fifth dimension and up, we don't feel none of this shit. None of it. You need a body to feel. If you step outside your body and I hit your light body with a gut shot, you're going to laugh. It's not going to affect you. But if I slug you in your gut and your physical body, you're going to do.
Organic. It's actually a harvest celebration. So we're going to get into a little bit of the culture that we can't seem to remember. It's a lot of stuff going on around us that have us confused about like how are we gonna get our shit back? Oh my, ooh, spooky. Or, oh, they gonna kill us all, World War IV, murder us all, ooh, spooky. It's gonna be a slobber knocker up in Capitol Hill, ooh, spooky. Got motherfucking stage shows being passed off as some real goddamn shit. While they feeding y'all that motherfucking dramatic doomsday scenario of total destruction and annihilation of the world. Ooh, spooky. Keep you in a state of fear so you won't never be in a position to regain your personal power back. That's some spooky shit for real. To surrender your personal power to a motherfucker that been doing the shit that they've been doing to us since we haven't been using our power. That's the spooky shit. Not all that oh, Putin gonna blow us all up. He declared war on the New World Order. He's supposed to declare war on the New World Order. That ain't nothing outside of the motherfucking norm. That's not no spooky shit. He talking about the deep state. He just putting Trump on notice that we almost about to close this Haitian conjure and that these motherfuckers is about to get their balls handed to them on a motherfucking plastic dirty ass plate that we picked up in one of them landfills where they dumped off in the third world countries because who gives a fuck about the poor people, right? Well, mama say you can't throw people away like trash. People always worrying about somebody's skin color and don't want to care about how people treat you or how you treat them. No. So, we familiar with Thanksgiving as some kind of feast day. We familiar with the Day of the Dead, Cinco de Mayo, which is a Mardi Gras festival from Mexico. We don't know what this shit mean though, right? So coming off of the winter months, when the ground is barren for growing crops, we will resort then to using dense protein-rich diets, aka meat substance. So, when the ground starts to thaw out, right, it's the resurrection of the dead earth. Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, is the beginning of the tilling of the ground for harvest, right? So it's actually the Day of the Dead, Dia de Muerte, is a celebration of the dead earth during the winter months where you don't grow crops, becoming fertile. Now, they knew about this growth cycles in the north and all the way down into northern portions of South America. They have a different growth period down there than we do up here. So you'll see in Brazil, they Mardi Gras, Los Carnaval festivals and parade is at a different time of the year than Cinco de Mayo, and it's a different time of year from the harvest festivals. Now, during the summer months, you have what you had early blooming foodstuffs. Like as early as if you planting around that first week of May the 5th, probably by mid-June, you'll be able to begin harvesting bell peppers. You'll be able to harvest some tomatoes, especially green tomatoes. You will be able to harvest bell peppers, jalapenos, but if you leave them on there a little longer, they'll get a little bigger. And so during the summer months, we have, interim festivals to celebrate harvest and, food stuff being delivered to the clans. So by the time August get around, it's hot as hell outside and the shit growing fast as hell. So then you start to see the temperatures start dropping around September. And September, by the way, means 7th month in the 9th month. Make that make sense. So during September, the weather starts to cool, and now you can start getting your long-growing vegetables from the garden, but you ain't ready to do the full harvest yet. So you plucking ripe vegetables and all throughout the summer months, because different stuff mature in fruit at different periods throughout the summer. But when they get ready to close the garden down for the cold months, because it's going to kill everything anyway, you harvest everything, right? That means the ones that popped up late, they're still like green, they haven't ripened yet. Some of them are ripening on the shelf naturally just by sitting out. That's why when you go to the elders in the South, they always have bowls of vegetables and fruits and baskets, which is one of our customs. Now, when you get to October, now we know old man winter is beating this bitch down now. We falling into the middle of fall now. So the leaves starting to turn colors, and we use that as the signal to start emptying out what's in the field. So now this has become what you call a grand harvest or a complete harvest, where you start harvesting all of the food that's out in the field so that none of it go to waste. And then you can then treat the ground with the manure or with composted leaves and stuff like that in order to re-enrich the soil for the next growing season after the death of the earth, or the death of actually the growth cycle on the gardens. So you notice that they always need an almanac. A farmer's almanac damn near can tell you what day, what weather pattern going to hit in what part of the land, right? So today, Indigenous Day begins the clearing of the fields, right? And the clearing of the fields is the start of the final fall harvest, and it takes about 4 weeks generally to harvest it all. And then you have to, the women would can up the vegetables that was going to be used in long-term storage. Some of them they dried out, herbs they dried out. All that stuff is being taking place from the end of October all the way going into what we know as Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was the natives' harvest celebration, and Black Friday was the day they slaughtered us all when we was high on motherfucking alcohol, THC, and motherfucking tryptophan. So you be in a deep sleep. That's why it's called Black Friday, because it was that Friday morning in the dead of night between midnight Thursday going into the witching hour of Friday where they started doing the slaughter of the chiefs, right? So they never took the festival away from our harvest, which they call it Thanksgiving now. But it's really not Thanksgiving because it's not showing gratitude to any other people. It's the harvest festival, and the gratitude is to Mother Earth for blessing us with a bountiful harvest. Now, we have gift baskets we used to give out, and you will see them actually in my room. I got a picture of Big Mama with one of the gift baskets. But the women would put together a small gift basket that represents samples of all of the vegetables that they would be giving to any particular family. And then they would take the sample basket, give it to the Big Mama to evaluate what quality is the harvest. And that became known as your traditional fruit baskets and vegetable baskets, because that was the sampler plates for the harvest that Big Mama is receiving from any particular clan that's bringing her food. And we got Big Mamas is all over the land. And Big Mama house, we got male and female chiefs. They're my uncles and aunties to us, But when you lead a clan, they become the chief that represent the family. It's saying the chief in indigenous understanding is no different than a Muslim calling their prayer leader an imam, which means the one that's out front. The one that's out front is the one that the family say, you go out and you be the ambassador to the world for the family so that the people can see our character and how we interact with each other based on how you raise. Because now you've become the charmer, meaning you've mastered charm school, right? So now you've harnessed your noble qualities. So then the chiefs, male or female, becomes the face of the family that the rest of the public see before they become familiar with the family. Now, the harvest festivals, it's not gonna never leave our culture like Mardi Gras. But the reason why we need to be familiar with Black Friday is because the day of the slaughter. Right now, what the original meaning or purpose of Halloween is it was the acknowledgement that Mother Earth was going into the dead season. And the dead season is always preceded by a honoring of the ancestors by dressing up in varying different representations of stages of decay of a corpse. That's why the skeleton is synonymous with Halloween. That's why the witch is synonymous with Halloween. And the vampires is the motherfuckers that came over here sucking the blood of our kids. And we was the ones who wore the wolves as a pelt. So we wear wolves. So we the werewolves. And, Dia de los Muertos. Day of the Dead. So we really honoring the earth with these ceremonies. And that's why you can't take Mardi Gras from them people in New Orleans without creating the worst backlash and upheaval that you could imagine. You think that these motherfucking natives was fighting in Florida. Go down there right before Mardi Gras and you tell them motherfuckers in New Orleans that they can't have Mardi Gras this year and see if your ass make it the fuck up out of there. I'm just saying. You can't, that's like trying to take Cinco de Mayo from those people that came from Mexico. We hear what you saying, but fuck what you talking about, because we gonna still dress up Cinco de Mayo, Dia de Muerte, the Day of the Dead. We still gonna walk around and honor the honorable. So yeah, you could tell me we ain't having that shit, motherfucker, but when you see these motherfuckers all dressed up in the colors of the dead, you understand the depth and richness of the culture and how much they knew to take from us at one time in order to minimize the amount of our culture on display so we can continue this amnesia shit. But somebody was paying attention. Somebody was paying attention. So fuck them motherfuckers. Fuck the boat they came in on. They told us, anybody that studied American history, they told us that the Spanish brought horses to the Americas and that the natives mastered them. They never show us, they always show us camels in the Middle East. Think about that for a minute, because I'm about to tell y'all something. They told us the Spanish bring the horses and the natives master riding the horses. And they told us that camels is from the Middle East. They also said there's only African and Asian elephants. Go to Google and Google ancient American elephant, and then you're going to see that we had a pachyderm that was similar to the woolly mammoth, but it was more closely related to the modern elephant. They killed them bitches off first. That's why over here and around the world, the elephant is going to always be the symbol of the matriarch, because it's on all three major land masses, the Americas, Africa, and Europe, which feeds off Asia, right? The Eurasian landmass. So it's the elephants was on all these motherfuckers. The harvest festivals this time is gonna be us reaping the bounty of a dead system that didn't pay this motherfucking debt back to the people that it stole it from under the false pretenses of being a government, and all the time it was a goddamn occupying army on our territory pretending to be our government. And that's why the Electoral College elect the president but they tell the people to go vote so they can take a survey and see how many of us is some go along and get along ass niggas that don't do no background check on what this election shit is, because that's not how we select leadership in our community. Most loved, most respected, straight bump motherfucker that don't be for the bullshit, don't start none, nor do they take any, right? And you got to be motherfucking man or woman enough to stand on your own 2 feet anywhere on the land and still be able to come up and survive, no matter where you from. So that means they got to be able to take me from Michigan, drop me off in LA in the middle of Bloods and Crips, and see if I can maintain my respect status among foreign clans. Well, they didn't all came. Bloods, Crips, Vice Lords, Stones, GDs, BDs, BGs, Maniacs, MS-13, Hell's Angels, Devil Disciples, El Diablos. All of them came, and they all left telling me, oh, much love, brother, plenty of respect, and we'll meet up again. So now we calling in all of the motherfucking markers. When the OGs tell them motherfuckers on 1110 in the penitentiary not to move, that's going to scare these motherfuckers balls loose. All these penitentiaries across the land are people that's been wrongfully convicted by a system that's not supposed to be here. Now, I understand some of the motherfuckers got some serious issues in there and don't need to be out in the general public. But I also understand that most of the people in the 90 plus percentile is only there from circumstances. They were circumstantially baited into committing crimes that the laws and the crimes was created at the same time, right? So when you read in the legal books, it says no ex post facto law shall be passed, right? What that means is they can't find something you're doing, turn it into a crime and come back and get you. So you know what they do? Anything you might do, they legislate against it before you do it. So when you do it, it becomes a crime. That should be criminal. It's not against the law to make money in any form whatsoever, but it's illegal. You got to understand that. It's not against the law to make money how you make money. It's illegal when they say that you're not following the rules of their judiciary, right? But there's no, there's no processing of jurisdiction to show that they part of the government in any of the court systems. So they have to leave. They can't stay here. And all of the inmates then automatically get automatic appeals because the system was predicated and built upon a constructed fraud. And to keep them in there is the same as saying as fruits of the poisonous tree is admissible in law now. No. The fruit of the poisonous tree is the proceeds of a crime. That's a RICO Act, right? So it's called RICO, Racketeering and Corrupt Organizations. And RICO is a Spanish name that means rich. Puerto Rico means the rich port. That's where the den of thieves hid their wealth before they got ran the fuck up out of there by the Puerto Ricans, and then they fled back to Al Maghrib with they motherfucking what they call it, booty. They took their booty and left, right? So when they left Puerto Rico in distress, the English saw opportunity to try to seize power, and that's why they always have to negotiate or vote in Puerto Rico on the deciding to become a state or not every so many years, because the Puerto Ricans were smart enough to know that we can't make deals with the motherfuckers. We can't trust them. They can't be trusted. They made deals with everybody else, and they always reneged on every deal. So we'll just continue to vote until we can end this shit. So, today, Columbus Day, is a deliberate slap in the face to all indigenous and organic people across the land. All of us that was already here. Christopher Columbus was a Tawny Moor navigator, conquistador, and his navigator was Pedro del Negro, who was a blackamoor, and he was the one that was calling the shots on the ship. And he's also the one who had the maps, and the one with the maps is the navigator, and the navigator is the one to tell the captain where the fuck he going. So what we did is we said fuck Columbus, and we're gonna stick to our indigenous motherfucking beginning of the harvest notice to the people by having a celebration or announcing that there will be celebrations of the harvest. We having Mardi Gras all